So in talking about maintenance and inspections, we really need to know from the air carrier who's responsible and who is approved to do things. So is it always a mechanic who is responsible and approved to do the work? Can pilots do any of the work? Let's talk about that for a little here. The responsibility of the airworthiness rests on the air carrier. So that means that they cannot delegate that authority. Just like the dispatcher can't delegate his responsibility for making sure the flight is dispatched safely, they're still responsible. Even if an assistant dispatcher is doing the work, the dispatcher is really the one responsible. So like this, we have the certificate holder is responsible for the airworthiness of the aircraft. The airplane could be sent out for work at a subcontractor, another approved repair station for the airplane. That doesn't mean that the air carrier is not responsible for the airworthiness of its airplane. And it's also responsible for the performance of that maintenance. So they have to get it done in an approved way, and the FAA really looks at this responsibility falling on the certificate holder. So the certificate holder, like I say, it may make arrangements for someone else to do the maintenance. So if you have an airplane that goes to another city, has a mechanical issue, that air carrier can allow someone else to work on the airplane, but they are still responsible for the work that's done. We also have to show how the maintenance organization functions, as in the inspection functions have to be separate from the actual work that's done. So it has to be basically a separate part of the organization that does the checking of the work that's done, separate from the people that actually are doing the work. And that's important because the FAA makes that distinction. The same people who do the work can't look at it and say it's done correctly. They need a fresh set of eyes to be inspectors. Now, I want to just mention, if the air carrier has set up their maintenance as a repair station, for example, again, that would be certificated under Part 145 of 14 CFR. This covers repair stations. If this repair station wants to, it can allow people who are not certificated mechanics, certificated airframe and power plant mechanics, non-mechanics could do the work on the airplane, but there's still required that the responsibility falls on the inspection personnel that are working there. And so somebody has to be overseeing this work, has to be someone who is certificated with the airframe and power plant certificate, but the organization can allow non-mechanics to do the work as long as it has a checking function and an overseeing function to make sure that that work is done in an airworthy manner. And again, whoever's doing the maintenance, the air carrier is still required to be responsible for how that work is done.